The sun beat down relentlessly on Komodo Island, its golden rays turning the rugged landscape into a shimmering furnace. The island, wild and untamed, seemed to pulse with a quiet energy beneath the heat. The air was thick with heat, every breath heavy and slow, as if the world itself was holding still in anticipation. Great lizards, Komodo dragons, the largest on Earth, lay scattered across the parched ground, perfectly still. Their ancient eyes, unblinking and wise, watched the world with a patience born of centuries. They were kings in their own kingdom, rulers of this sun-baked domain, waiting for a meal as old as their time on these islands. Each dragon, a living relic, seemed to embody the spirit of the land itself. Their stillness was power, a patient calm honed by millions of years of survival. In their silence there was strength, a quiet confidence that nothing could disturb. Every so often a long yellow tongue flicked out, tasting the air for the faintest hint of food. Each flick was a silent question, a search for the promise of sustenance. Today they waited for a specific promise, the weekly feeding, a ritual that brought the entire kingdom to a standstill. The anticipation was almost tangible, a silent tension in the air. Younger dragons shifted restlessly, hunger burning in their bellies, eyes fixed on the path where keepers usually appeared. Their movements betrayed their impatience, a youthful energy barely contained. The silence was profound, broken only by the soft hum of insects and the distant calls of birds. Even the wind seemed to pause, as if respecting the gravity of the moment. From the dominant male, Raja, his massive form casting a long shadow, to the smallest female hiding in the shade, all were united in anticipation. Hunger was the great equalizer, binding them together in a single silent purpose. They were living links to a prehistoric past, their existence a miracle of nature. Each step they took echoed with the memory of ancient worlds, long vanished but alive in their blood. But today, their ancient instincts faced a new test. The world was changing, and even these ancient predators could sense the shift in the air. The sun climbed higher, scorching the earth, and still they waited. Time seemed to stretch, each minute a test of patience and endurance. The great wait had begun, and the kingdom held its breath. Hunger was coming. The dragons were ready, silent, powerful, and utterly unyielding, as they had been for millennia. Feeding day was usually a spectacle, a ritual that echoed the ancient rhythms of survival. Keepers arrived with goat or buffalo meat, the scent drifting on the wind and stirring the anticipation of every creature nearby. Dragons, statues moments before, would surge to life, converging on the feeding area with a sudden, primal urgency. The dominant male always ate first, tearing off huge chunks with powerful jaws, his authority unquestioned as the others watched, waiting for their chance. After him, chaos. Smaller males and females jostled, fights broke out, dominance was tested in a flurry of snapping jaws and thrashing tails. The keepers watched, recording every interaction, noting the subtle shifts in hierarchy and the fierce determination in each dragon's eyes. This ritual was more than a meal. It was a window into the dragon's social lives and raw power, a living tableau of prehistoric behavior unfolding before human eyes. Their toxic saliva and venomous bite reminded all of their deadly efficiency. A reminder that these creatures are the last of their kind, apex predators from another era. Scientists learned from every feeding: communication, hierarchy, physiology. Each observation brought new insights into their mysterious world. The ritual was a bridge between our world and theirs, a rare moment where the ancient and the modern met face to face. But today, that bridge was about to collapse. An uneasy tension filled the air, as if both dragons and keepers sensed a shift in the natural order. The expected drama of hunger was about to take a new, unpredictable turn. The dragons paced, their movements sharper, more restless than usual. The dragons' patience would soon be tested in ways unseen for generations. The keepers sensed it, the dragons sensed it. Change was coming, and no one could predict what would happen next. Midday came and went, but the food cart never arrived. The familiar scent of meat was missing. The silence grew tense. Dragons remained in place, confusion replacing patience. The routine was broken, unsettling creatures who thrived on predictability. Keepers grew anxious, scanning the horizon for the missing supply boat. Radio calls went unanswered. Static was all they heard. The younger dragons began to pace, tongues flicking, searching for a scent that wasn't there. The ancient order was disrupted. The promise of food had been broken. Even Raja, the stoic giant, showed impatience, hissing in frustration. The kingdom was on edge, hunger gnawing at every dragon. The unspoken question hung in the air. Where was the food? The day's heat mirrored the growing tension. The keepers felt helpless. The dragons grew restless. The island waited, uneasy. The balance was shifting. As the sun set, the dragons' confusion turned to primal hunger. The usual hierarchy broke down. Dragons dispersed, searching for anything edible. Smaller dragons grew bold, venturing into forbidden territories. The larger dragons, distracted by hunger, ignored these trespasses. Controlled chaos gave way to unpredictable activity. True hunting instincts awakened. Fights broke out over space and opportunity, not food. Raja, once a patient king, became a prowling predator, his presence unsettling all. The island reverted to a more ancient, unforgiving state. Only the strong and clever would eat. The keepers watched, alarmed and fascinated. The shift was complete. The dragons were wild again. The missing food was the result of human error and mechanical failure. The supply boat's engine died mid-journey, leaving it adrift and out of radio contact. The crew tried in vain to call for help as their precious cargo of meat began to thaw. Back at the port, a communication mix-up delayed any response. No one realized the boat was missing until the research station raised the alarm. By then, hours were lost. A search and rescue began. The entire operation depended on one aging boat and fragile communication. No backup plan, no emergency food on the island. The Dragon's fate hung on a faulty engine and a broken radio. The system's vulnerability was exposed. Once the crisis was clear, the team sprang into action. A patrol boat and a small aircraft searched for the missing vessel. On the island, keepers used their own food, dried fish, to distract the hungriest dragons. Emergency feeding was risky, but it eased tensions. The dragons were unpredictable, but the distraction worked. By nightfall, the search plane spotted the stranded boat. The crew was rescued, and the meat, though not fresh, was still usable. Plans were made to deliver it at first light. The crisis wasn't over, but hope returned. The response was swift and determined. The keepers bought precious time. The dragons would soon eat again. The crisis gave scientists a rare chance to observe the dragons under stress. Dr. Aris Santoso and his team documented every change in behavior. Deprived of easy meals, dragons reverted to ancestral hunting, masters of ambush and patience. One large female lay in wait for hours, striking with explosive speed at passing prey. Social dynamics shifted. Aggression rose, alliances formed, hierarchies blurred. The event revealed a complex, adaptable social structure. Scientists gained insights into how dragons might cope with environmental changes. They also studied the dragon's metabolism and endurance. Komodo dragons can survive on infrequent meals. This was a real-world test. The data was invaluable. The incident became a scientific goldmine. The dragon's secrets were being unlocked. Even in crisis, knowledge grew. The next morning, the patrol boat arrived with meat. Order was restored as the dragons feasted. The crisis left a lasting impact. Management overhauled their systems. A new supply boat, emergency food storage, and solar-powered freezers were installed. Communication was upgraded. Satellite phones, reliable radios, and strict check-in protocols. The gaps that stranded the Pulau Harapan were closed. Scientific observations from the event shaped new management strategies. Keepers learned to handle unpredictable situations and gained deeper respect for the dragon's instincts. The dragons were seen as wild creatures, not just animals in care. The crisis forced a new perspective. The lessons would shape the future. The dragon's welfare was now more secure. The island was better prepared. The story of the hungry dragons is more than a missed meal. It's a powerful symbol of the challenges faced by one of the world's most ancient predators. Each moment of hunger, each test of patience, is a chapter in their ongoing struggle to survive in a world that is constantly changing. It's a reminder of the delicate balance between human management and wild nature. As people expand their reach, the boundaries between our world and theirs blur, making coexistence both a challenge and a necessity. For a brief time, dragons relied on ancient instincts, adapting to disruption. They navigated unfamiliar territory, searching for food and safety, guided by the wisdom of countless generations before them. They changed their behavior, social structure, and hunting strategies. Some formed new alliances, while others became more solitary, each dragon responding in its own way to the crisis. Their resilience is the secret to their survival. It's what has allowed them to persist through centuries of adversity, from natural disasters to human interference. They've endured volcanic eruptions, climate shifts, and now, a delayed boat. Each obstacle is a new test, and each time the dragons find a way to endure. Our role is to protect and understand them, learning from every challenge. By observing their responses, we gain insight into the resilience of nature itself. The crisis made us better caretakers, with stronger systems and deeper respect. We've learned to anticipate their needs and to act quickly when things go wrong. Our plans must be as resilient as the dragons themselves. Flexibility and foresight are now at the heart of our conservation efforts. The Komodo dragon endures, a living monument to evolution and survival. Their presence is a testament to the power of adaptation and the will to live. The incident led to positive change and renewed resolve. It brought together people from all walks of life, united by a common goal: to ensure the dragon's future. Their legacy is one of strength and adaptation. Through every hardship, they remind us of the importance of perseverance and respect for the wild. We are now better equipped to help continue that legacy. With every lesson learned, we become more capable guardians of these remarkable creatures. The dragon's story goes on, echoing through the wild places they call home, a living legend for generations to come.